الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الصلاة خير من النوم الصلاة خير من النوم الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. وقالوا أإذا ضللنا في الأرض أإنا لفي خلق جديد بل هم بلقاء ربهم لكافرون قل يتوفاكم ملك الموت الذي وكل بكم ثم إلى ربكم ترجعون ولو ترى إذ المجرمون ناكسوا رؤوسهم عند ربهم ربنا أبصرنا وسمعنا فارجعنا نعمل صالحا إنا موقنون ولو شئنا لآتينا كل نفس هداها ولكن حق القول مني لأملأن جهنم من الجنة والناس أجمعين فذوقوا بما نسيتم لقاء يومكم هذا إنا نسيناكم وذوقوا عذاب الخلد بما كنتم تعملون إنما يؤمن بآياتنا الذين إذا ذكروا بها خروا سجدا وسبحوا بحمد ربهم وهم لا يستكبرون. الله أكبر. تتجافى جنوبهم عن المضاجع يدعون ربهم خوفا وطمعا ومما رزقناهم ينفقون فلا تعلم نفس ما أخفي لهم من قرة أعين جزاء بما كانوا يعملون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إنا نحن نزلنا عليك القرآن تنزيلا فاصبر لحكم ربك ولا تطع منهم آثما أو كفورا واذكر اسم ربك بكرة وأصيلا ومن الليل فاسجد له وسبحه ليلا طويلا إن هؤلاء يحبون العاجلة ويذرون وراءهم يوما ثقيلا نحن خلقناهم وشددنا أسرهم وإذا شئنا بدلنا أمثالهم تبديلا إن هذه تذكرة فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه سبيلا وما تشاءون إلا أن يشاء الله إن الله كان عليما حكيما يدخل من يشاء في رحمته والظالمين أعد لهم عذابا أليما. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. Before I move on, Jumu'ah is, there's a Jumu'ah at 1 and a Jumu'ah at 2:15. Both don't require registration, but it's limited capacity, so you need to show up a little bit earlier. Starting today, inshallah, after Asr, and for the next 7 days, I'll be running a series called The Intellectual Fellowship of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It will go around between 40 minutes and an hour every day after Asr, inshallah, starting today until next Thursday. So you're welcome to come out and be hungry here instead of being hungry at home, inshallah, after Salat al-Asr. Continuing with the stages of the hereafter, and yesterday I talked about the second blow of the horn, an-nafkha al-thaniya. In order for this to be of benefit, it's helpful to kind of try to visualize some of the events that I described for you, whether they are from the Quran or from the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As we are very much visual beings, and what we can imagine, what we can comprehend is what will affect us the most. This is what the tabi'een used to do, and the tabi'een used to do. Spend time thinking about these things, reciting the verses in the Quran, and then imagining what it would look like, because the events that I'm describing to you are events that are going to take place upon us. This is not something that we will watch others go through from a safe spot, which is what the nafs likes to believe. We like to believe that this is going to occur to a group of people and that we'll be somewhere safe observing them. But really this is going to be occurring upon you and I. We are not the people who are observing it, we're the stars of the show. And the more prepared we are for it, the better we will learn, the better we will deal with the fact that we are mortal and that we will move on from this, and that is coming. And then after that, there are events that we should be prepared for and we should be aware of. After the second blow in the horn occurs, the Prophet ﷺ actually tells us something interesting in a hadith where a Muslim and a Jew fought and they said things to each other, and the Muslim said, وَالَّذِي اصْطَفَى مُحَمَّدًا عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. He swore by the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose Muhammad over everybody. So the Jew said, I swear to you, وَالَّذِي اصْطَفَى مُوسَى عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ, by the one who chose Musa over everyone. They said things to each other. And the Muslim abused the Jew. The Jew went to the Prophet ﷺ and told him this would happen. فَقَالَ صلى الله عليه وسلم وَحَكَمَ لَهُ, and he ruled in the favor of the Jew. فَقَالَ لَا تُخَيِّرُونِي عَلَى مُوسَى, don't say that I'm better than Musa. صلى الله عليه وسلم. لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله. It's not our job to differentiate one prophet or the other. صلى الله عليه وسلم. فإني لأقوم يوم القيامة فأكون أول من يفيق. He says, I wake up on the day of judgment. I'm the first one to wake up from that second blow. فأنظر فإذا موسى باطش بجنب العرش. I look, and Musa alayhi salam is holding on to the leg of the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فأقول هل كان ممن استثنى الله أم قام قبلي أم جوزي بصعقة الطور فلا أدري. I'm not sure when I see him, did he wake up before me? Or was he, because Musa alayhi salam was actually shocked at one point. In the known story, he and Bani Israel, when they asked to see God, you can go to Surah Al-A'raf and recite the verses. Or did he just make it earlier than myself? I don't know what happened, but I look and I see Musa alayhi salam ahead of me. وَلَا يَقُولَنَّ أَحَدٌ أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِنْ يُونُسُ بْنِ مَتَّى. And may no one ever say that I'm better than Yunus, he made a sin and I never made a sin. قول سبحانه وتعالى إن هؤلاء يحبون العاجلة ويذرون وراءهم يوما ثقيلا. Indeed, these people, they love what is quick and what is immediate, what is close, and they leave behind them, forgetting behind them a day that is quite heavy. فكيف تتقون إن كفرتم يوما يجعل الولدان شيبا. How are you going to protect yourself on a day that will cause children to have white hair, have gray hair from what they observed that day? On that day when you wake up, your hear a lot of nafsi, nafsi. And you'll find these in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. And it's really not the literal wording, even though that's the wording of the hadith, but he doesn't mean this ﷺ. No one walks around saying nafsi, no one does this. But what he's referring to ﷺ is that on that day, people speak and all they can talk about is their self-interest. They're completely preoccupied with their destination and their status and their books and their balances and their judgment, and that's what they're talking about. There's nothing else that you can get them to talk about. You cannot converse with them on anything else. All they're interested in figuring out is where they're going and how they did and how they're going to do and what could they have done better, and is there a way out of this, and someone can maybe lend them something. So it's very self-centered speech because everyone is so scared that day. So it's nafsi, nafsi. No one wants to talk with someone who's extremely self-centered and self-preoccupied. So we leave people alone. As we're standing there, remember where we were yesterday, families, either families holding on together or people who are just running. And it really depends. You get to choose how you want this to play out in terms of your own family. Families that worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala together will come hand in hand, and those who don't, won't. And sometimes within a family, a group, those who worshipped Allah will come, and maybe there's one or two people in that family that didn't, and they'll be running, and you'll see them, and it'll hurt. And as this chaos is happening, we start to observe phenomena in the universe around us. He says subhanahu wa ta'ala, يَوْمَ تُبَدَّلُ الْأَرْضُ غَيْرَ الْأَرْضِ وَالسَّمَاوَاتِ وَبَرَزُوا لِلَّهِ الْوَاحِدِ الْقَهَّارِ. On that day, the earth will change into something different, and the skies will change into something different. It's not going to be the same anymore. You're not going to witness. It's not the same universe that you're used to. يَوْمَ هُمْ بَارِزُونَ لَا يَخْفَى عَلَى اللَّهِ مِنْهُمْ شَيْءٍ. On that day, we will all be exposed. See, the laws change. The earth will change. The cosmos will change. And then the way that we exist will change. You see, at that day, يَوْمَ تُبْلَى السَّرَائِرُ فَمَا لَهُ مِنْ قُوَّةٍ وَلَا نَاصِرٍ. On that day, all the inner thoughts, all the feelings, all of the intentions, they're exposed. They're exposed. They're not hidden anymore. You don't control them. Right now, I have no idea what you're thinking. You don't know what I'm thinking. I can assume. You can assume as well. But that's as far as it goes. Yawm al-Qiyamah, it's turned into something physical. And you'll try to hide it, but it's not. You can't do it anymore. It's a different laws. يقول صلى الله عليه وسلم, as he describes for us يوم القيامة, قال أرض بيضاء عفراء كقرصة نقي. It's white land, like a piece of bread, with a little bit of mist just above it. ليس فيها معلم لأحد. There's nothing, there's no up, there's no down, there's no valley, there's no mountain. It's just a plain, straight piece of land. There's nowhere to hide. There's nothing to go sit behind. There's nothing to go and position yourself. When you were a kid in school, I was very good at this. I always made sure that between the eyesight of the teacher and myself was something. A pillar ahead of someone a bit taller. Always something to hide behind so that no one can see me. And I was very good at it. He walked and I kept on moving. Never made eye contact for 60 minutes. It was very impressive. Yawm al-Qiyamah, say there's nothing, there's nowhere to go. It's a plain piece of land. And there's no ups, there's down, it's just, that's it. The Sahira. The land of no sleep. There's no sleep here. And there's nothing. He subhanahu wa ta'ala starts to, if you go through the Quran, he describes what goes on. إِذَا الشَّمْسُ كُوِّرَتْ وَإِذَا النُّجُومُ انْكَدَرَتْ وَإِذَا الْجِبَالُ سُيِّرَتْ وَإِذَا الْعِشَارُ عُطِّلَتْ وَإِذَا الْوُحُوشُ حُشِرَتْ وَإِذَا الْبِحَارُ سُجِّرَتْ وَإِذَا النُّفُوسُ زُوِّجَتْ. The sun will shrivel into nothing. The stars will start to be turned out. The lights out, one after the other. The mountains will start to be moved as if they're made of nothing. Animals will behave in ways that you've never seen before. Oceans will catch fire. Water burns Yawm al-Qiyamah. You see, all of these things is just, how is this happening? What's going on? What's going on is that the laws that you and I are used to here, the laws that very safely govern everything that exists, it's just these laws, we understand them, the laws of nature, gravity, and the fact that opposite charged things attract and ones have to repel, and all these laws that allow everything to exist the way they are, they just don't work anymore. And that's what really harms us, because we don't like things we're unfamiliar with. We don't like dealing with that which we don't understand and which is unknown. Al-Qari'ah. ما القارعة وما أدراك ما القارعة يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث وتكون الجبال كالعهن المنفوش. On that day, the human beings will be like butterflies running in every direction, and what was once solid rock mountains turn into cotton. You blow on it and it goes, and it leaves. It's no longer. It doesn't have substance anymore. إذا السماء انشقت وأذنت لربها وحقت وإذا الأرض مدت وألقت ما فيها وتخلت وأذنت لربها وحقت. When the sky is ripped, it's torn, and it's doing it because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded it to, and it listens to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's commands and obeys, and it has to. وحقت. When the earth no longer holds within it the bodies of its children, and it throws them to the surface and almost gets rid of them, and it obeys the command of its Lord, and it has to. إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها وقال الإنسان ما لها. When the earth starts to shake, it shakes violently, and it basically regurgitates everything inside of it onto the surface, and the human being looks around and says, what's wrong with it? Why is Mother Earth doing this to us? The only thing that we know, whether we like it or not, we're all children of this earth. We're just elements of it. We're created from it, and then we'll die and we'll dissolve right back into its essence for millions of years, and it's all we really understand. There's nothing. If earth turns its back on us, then what is real anymore? Betrayal can make people feel very vulnerable. If you want to question your existence, that's how you do it. You get betrayed by someone you love. It's very difficult to comprehend. It's hard to wrap your head around it. It can cause existential issues and problems. And for the human being, Yawm al-Qiyamah, for earth to treat us like that, it's difficult. And they ask that question, what's wrong with it? Of course, it'll have its own opinion that we will listen to very soon. إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انفطرت وإذا الكواكب انتثرت وإذا البحار فجرت وإذا القبور بعثرت. When the sky shatters, its essence, what it's made of, it shatters. When the planets just start falling in different directions, they're no longer taken by the gravitational forces of anything. And when oceans explode, and when graves turn over what they have on the inside. Subhanallah. He says subhanahu wa ta'ala, يوم تمور السماء مورا وتسير الجبال سيرا فويل يومئذ للمكذبين. You look at the skies and they're just shifting because they're just not holding on. There's no substance to the skies anymore, and the cosmos are just falling just in waves because they don't have anything holding them together anymore. You look at the mountains and they're just moving back and forth. There's nothing there. Imagine watching this Yawm al-Qiyamah. How do we understand all of this? How can we stand there? See, this is the thing. Yawm al-Qiyamah, really, at that moment when it's full of fear, it's full of doubt. So you need someone. You need all the support that you can possibly get. يوم نطوي السماء كطي السجل للكتب كما بدأنا أول خلق نعيده وعدا علينا إنا كنا فاعلين. We will fold the skies, the cosmos, just like you fold a binder. Just like if you have a binder open in front of you, and just fold it, and the skies are just being folded. That's how we started all of this. That's how you will bring it back again. Indeed, we told you we were going to do this. We can't act Yawm al-Qiyamah like we're surprised. Surprised of what? He explained this subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَإِذَا النُّجُومُ طُمِسَتْ وَإِذَا السَّمَاءُ فُرِجَتْ وَإِذَا الْجِبَالُ نُسِفَتْ وَإِذَا الرُّسُلُ أُقِّتَتْ لِأَيِّ يَوْمٍ أُجِّلَتْ لِيَوْمِ الْفَصْلِ. The stars will be just turned off one after. It's like a button. They're all being turned off. You're watching this. And the sky no longer has structure, and it's opening up. It's being torn away from from itself, and the mountains are being moved like water. وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْجِبَالِ فَقُلْ يَنْسِفُهَا رَبِّي نَسْفًا فَيَذَرُهَا قَاعًا صَفْصَفًا لَا تَرَى فِيهَا عِوَجًا وَلَا أَمْتًا. They ask you about the mountains. Tell them Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will demolish them instantaneously into nothing. And then you look and you don't see ups or downs. You don't see any movement. It's just a plain piece of land. On that day, we have full iman. On that day, everyone achieves a level of iman similar to the level of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. At that moment, every heart is a heart that does not know doubt, that does not know laziness, that does not know distraction. On that day, you know it all. You know exactly what you're here to do. You know exactly why you're there. And you are fully ready to be returned back to life, to do the job exactly the way He explained it, subhanahu wa ta'ala. No exceptions. No exceptions this time. No exemptions are being sought out. We are ready on that day. Everyone is completely prepared just to be given one more chance to go back and be a part of something. وَيَوْمَ تَشَقَّقُ السَّمَاءُ بِالْغَمَامِ وَنُزِّلَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ تَنزِيلًا. You look and the sky is full of clouds and is being torn in every direction. Everything, the fabric of nature is being warped into something that we don't understand. You see, every law is going to be replaced Yawm al-Qiyamah with a different one. It's going to be replaced with the original laws that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually told us from the beginning were the laws that were going to govern this existence way before. Really, the laws that we are witnessing today in nature are the exception. These laws are the exception. They're just around for a little bit. They're around for a short period of time, but the laws that we will see Yawm al-Qiyamah are the real ones, are the laws that actually matter, the ones. It's called Yawm al-Qiyamah. That's the name that's the most famous out of the 25 different words that are used to describe that day. إِذَا وَقَعَتِ الْوَاقِعَةِ لَيْسَ لِوَقَعَتِهَا كَاذِبَةٌ خَافِضَةٌ رَافِعَةٌ إِذَا رُجَّتِ الْأَرْضُ رَجًّا وَبُسَّتِ الْجِبَالُ بَسًّا فَكَانَتْ هَبَاءً مُنبَثًّا. When the occurrence occurs, when the descending event descends, there is no lie about it. It will take some status of people downwards, and it will elevate the status of others. When the earth is shaken or shook violently and the mountains are completely destroyed. And you can see that there's a pattern in the verses of the Quran. Subhanahu wa ta'ala, imagine the skies, imagine the sun, imagine the stars, imagine the planets, imagine the oceans, imagine the mountains. These are the constants, aren't they? This is what's always been there. You can always depend on those to be exactly where you left them the last time you looked for them. You can always depend upon them, always be there. Look into a telescope, they're all there, doing their thing, nothing changes. You go, the mountain is not going to move somewhere else. The ocean will function the way it always has. This is what keeps us sane. This is what allows us to be. If you imagine sleeping and every morning waking up and finding a completely different landscape and everything is different, there's nothing constant, we wouldn't be able to function. We wouldn't be able to live. But these constants is what keeps us feeling that it's safe. Just like deep inside, we're just like children. I know I am, maybe. It's not meant to be offensive. But we don't like change. Like a child comes home, finds his parents move couches around, will run around and start putting everything back again, screaming and crying because that's not what he's used to. Deep inside, we're the same, just on a bigger scale. We're going to look at this and say, why is this all happening? This was all meant to be long time ago, and is coming. And that is the second witnessed event after the blow in the horn, the second blow. First witnessed event is people running, those who have the stability to hold on to what they love, and those who didn't do a good job, so they're just running aimlessly in a complete chaos and fear. The second event is just observing everything that we knew. Imagine, I just want you to imagine, your house is, when you leave here, you're going to go to a certain place where you're going to live. So when you go there, imagine it's not there anymore. It just doesn't exist. The earth is gone. It's not there. The planet with the it's not there. It was there one day. It's not that it was moved somewhere else, preserved, so you can go back. No, it's gone permanently. It has been removed from existence until the day of judgment. Not only your house, everything that you ever owned. You don't take gadgets with you. You don't have your phone with you, Yawm al-Qiyamah. You can't take anything with you. Tomorrow we'll talk about Hashr. You leave your grave, you don't even have clothing on. There's nothing. So what is the value of anything that we continue to try and accumulate and possess and add? What's the value of it? If Yawm al-Qiyamah, literally it's all going to be taken away. There's no way to retrieve it. It's just gone. Your stuff, and what are houses? Just covers for our stuff. Right? We put our stuff and then we need to cover the stuff that is ours, and then we keep on adding more stuff. We have too much stuff now, so we have to get a bigger house to cover our stuff, and it keeps on going. Yawm al-Qiyamah, it's nothing. There's nothing left. And the piece of land that you were born on, the place that you lived, the road that you took, the route that you used, it's gone. It's taken away. Much stronger structures are being destroyed. You think that's going to stay? I end with that, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. جزاكم الله خيرا وبارك الله فيكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Inshallah, again, today Jumu'ah is 1 o'clock and 2:15. No registration is needed, just come a bit early for spaces. And inshallah, after Asr for the next week, starting today, there'll be a dars, a lecture. Please feel free to come out and bring your children, inshallah. Barakallahu feekum.